Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Evan and this is Sense or Sense, and today I want to bring you a little bit of a different twist on a new airline credit card that was just released yesterday on August the 20th, 2025. It's from Alaska Airlines, the Atmos Rewards Signature Visa card. Actually, they're calling it the Atmos Rewards Summit Visa Infinite card. I want to tell you guys why I think that if you use American Airlines or Alaska Airlines or desire to travel overseas through any of Alaska or American Airlines partners, which are a bunch of different airlines, Japan Airlines, Air Tahiti Nui, Finnair, British Air, a lot of different companies partner with both Alaska and American Airlines or one or the other, and you can get some really good redemptions. I just got a redemption that I'm going to talk about in a future video for Japan from my family and I. I had used Finnair miles as well as some other things, but I could have used either Alaska or American Airlines to book that flight for a little bit more. But ultimately, I want to talk a little bit differently about what is beneficial on this Atmos Rewards Summit Visa Infinite card, the $395 annual fee, and then another idea for people that might only want to get the $95 annual fee card. And I have a particular buddy of mine who is looking to maximize one thing, and we're going to talk about that one thing. It has to do with something that is near and dear to making points on rent. So let's dive right in. I'm going to talk to you guys first about why I think if you use American Airlines or Alaska Airlines or one of their partners, I think this Atmos Rewards Summit Visa Infinite card is going to be a major card in your, either P1, Player 1 or Player 2 setup. And one of the major reasons is right here. You get an annual 25,000K point Global Companion Award on card anniversary, valid on Alaska Airlines, Hawaiian Airlines, and all of their partners. So what this means is if you want to go and book something like I did, like a Japan Airways business class, JAL business class from DFW to Haneda Airport in Tokyo, you can sometimes find those rewards for 80, 90, 100,000 points. And if you're going with your wife or your child or something like that, you can effectively apply a 25,000 point discount to that fare. So it could go down to as low as 55,000 points, 60, 70,000 points instead of 80 to 100,000 points. That's some major value. That flight recently was about $4,800. No, actually, excuse me, it was $5,500 including taxes. So if you're getting a quarter of that $5,500 in taxes, that's worth about $1,200, maybe even $1,300 for this one certificate right here. If you're a big spender and you have a business or something like that you can put on $60,000 and spend a year, the 100,000 point companion award is basically what that's telling you is you can get a free one-way flight to somewhere like Japan or Tahiti, somewhere like that. Or you can get round trip tickets for, maybe possibly from the East Coast to Europe on business class, or you can get several domestic tickets here in the United States for free. So that's one of the major reasons why I love this card, even with $395 annual fee. Now the next one, 8 Alaska Day Lounge passes, 2 per quarter. That's not going to be very beneficial unless you're traveling to Seattle, Portland, or some of the other airports that they have lounges in. This is not for any lounge. This is just for Alaska lounges. I personally don't have Alaska lounge nearby, and I've got credit cards that get me into other lounges. So this is not a big deal for me. 1 status point for every $2 spent. That's pretty big if you're trying to meet, certain status on on Alaska Airlines. Again, maybe come into play with me because in Dallas, I do have one of Alaska's hubs here at Love Field. It's basically Southwest and Alaska are the 2 major airlines that fly out of there, along with a few Delta flights and other companies. But that's not going to be a huge thing for me. And then the big one here is earn 3 points spent on dining and Alaska Airlines, Hawaiian Airlines purchases. But notice this. This is really interesting. And this is one of the major reasons why I think if you're doing any travel overseas, why this card is the card to get. Because you get 3 Alaska miles or points. They're now taking them from miles and putting them into points. You get 3 points per dollar on all foreign transactions. So anytime you go overseas, whether it's to Mexico or anywhere else that you go, you're going to get 3 points per dollar. That's huge. There are not that many credit cards out there that even give you more than 2 points per dollar that don't have fees associated with doing foreign transactions. You know, think about the Venture X, things like that. There are very few cards that have no annual fee that will do this for you, and there's no cards out there that will give you 3 points on everything. So this is a catch-all card for foreign transactions, in my opinion. This is one of the major reasons. When I go to Japan, I plan on spending many thousands of dollars on transportation and other things while I'm there, food and transportation, some, you know, tickets, things like that, to get into places. And this will come in major benefit because I value Alaska points at well over 2 cents per point. Sometimes I can get as much as 6 or 7 cents per point on you know, like JL and things like that. So, you know, if I'm getting 2 cents per point conservatively and I'm earning 3 points per dollar, that's 6% cash back on foreign transactions with no foreign transaction fee. That's huge to me. So that's another major reason why I would get this card. 8 Wi-Fi passes annually, 2 per quarter. This is very beneficial because I hate paying for Wi-Fi on planes. In fact, I refuse to do it. So this is extra benefit for me that I'd be able to use. You get your TSA pre-check, security statement, credit, global entry. That's pretty standard on most credit cards these days. And this is another big deal for me. Partner award fee waiver. So they charge right now $12.50 per way per ticket. So for three of us, that means I'm paying $25 each for a round trip ticket times 3, $75 every time I book. For instance, like a JAL ticket for the 3 of us, I'm paying $75 fee to Alaska to book through their system. I'm going to get that waived. I guarantee you I do this at least 2 or 3 times a year because it works for domestic flights as well. And I take a lot of domestic flights from Dallas to Santa Fe and places like that. So I'm going to save, at a minimum, I'm going to save about $150 a year. So you can see how that's taking away a lot of the annual fee right there. Obviously, you can transfer points to partners. That's a big deal. This is another big deal. This is something that's fairly new. It's not really allowed, and that is free points sharing. So I can share points with my wife. I can share points with my son. I can share points with it says up to 10 other Atmos Rewards members. Doesn't even say family members. So I could transfer this to friends. This is a big benefit. This is unlike any other program out there. Other programs will let you transfer points, but they'll charge you to transfer points. So this is huge. 10,000 status points on your card every anniversary. Yeah, I mean, that's beneficial if you're going for status. And then I'm not going to get into a lot of the other things down here for sake of time and details. But one of the other things I do want to mention, which is not on this page, is a reason why if you didn't plan on doing some big trips or you weren't planning on utilizing this card overseas, then I might consider getting this Atmos Rewards Ascent Visa Signature card with a $95 annual fee. And let me tell you why I think this card is well worth the $95. If you're going to travel with your sister, your brother, your spouse, your significant other, your daughter, child, anything like that, you get this every single year. You get a $99 companion fare, so it's $122 after taxes, and you get that every single year. So if you're going to use that, that could save you, $200, $300, $400, $500. It does have to be a regular coach ticket that can be booked at the same time. They have to travel with you the same day. You cannot, there's some other restrictions, but that alone will get you the $95 back if you're going to use Alaska Airlines. If you're not going to use Alaska Airlines, then one of the major reasons why I would still consider getting this $95 annual fee card is because of their partnership with Bilt. If you guys rent, and later on I'm sure they're going to add mortgages to this as well, because Bilt's added mortgages recently, but I think Bilt is rolling out their own mortgage platform instead of on this Atmos Rewards at first. But right now, this is huge, guys. Listen to this. Atmos Rewards Ascent $95 annual Visa card here. If you pay rent, they will essentially allow you to pay rent through the Bilt system. And what they do is they basically cut a check to your landlord, and then they keep track of how much you paid, up to $50,000 worth of rent each year. They're going to give you 3 points per dollar of rent that you spend during the calendar year. So if you got a $3,000 rent, that's 9,000 points per month. Just to give you an understanding, the last time I looked to book an economy ticket from Dallas to Santa Fe using Alaska Air, 9,000 points was enough to get me a round trip economy ticket between Dallas and Santa Fe. You could do even a first class with 17,000 or 18,000 points right now. And so what I'm telling you is, if you're paying rent, like my buddy is, he's paying $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom with his sister, he can accumulate 9,000 points a month for every single month of the year, because 3,000 times 12 is obviously 36,000. It's less than 50 grand. And he can accumulate, you ready for this? 9,000 times 12, he's going to accumulate 108,000 miles a year. That's enough to go overseas, round trip to Europe from the East Coast, or one way from Japan to the United States, or vice versa, just by paying his rent. That's why this $95 annual fee card is extremely beneficial for a lot of people, even if you're not going to be flying American or Alaskan Airlines. I would still put this in the top 5 cards to get if you're paying rent. So please look into these cards more. I would say, there's a significant other benefits also with these cards, but I love the Alaska Airlines mileage program. I've loved it for a long time. I've got almost 500,000 points with them right now that have been transferred over to Atmos Rewards. I plan on continuing to use this. It's really, really beneficial. Let me know if you want me to do a video with regards to like some of the small, like where they really shine is for local, what I call transit, almost like economy tickets to short distances. So for example, from DFW to Santa Fe, is a very short distance, but those tickets are very expensive because it's a regional airport. It's a very small airport. They can run $500, $600, $700 for an economy ticket, or over $1,000 for a first class ticket. I can routinely fly those for 9,000 miles for a coach ticket, or 17,000 miles for a first class ticket, and get massive value from my points. That's why I keep a lot of Alaska Airlines points, because if I take my family of 3, we'll fly first class to Santa Fe for Thanksgiving, I'm going to spend 51,000 points, and I'm going to get $3,000 worth of airfare for that, and not have to pay for the check bags, all these other different things. It's a huge benefit for my family. And again, paying that rent is also a major benefit. So these are some of the things that I found to be the most useful about these cards, and this is one of the top cards I would consider getting right now. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I wanted to bring you a little bit of a different spin on the Atmos cards with everybody who's been just like laying it out there over the last 24 to 36 hours. I appreciate all of your comments, and subscribers. Hit the like button. Thank you. Until next time, I'll see you then.